A big Outriders hotfix just went live, nerfing a lot of activities, farms, and abilities. So I will tell you everything you need to know and also showcase these changes in action here in this video. Plus we will get a free legendary as an appreciation gift, a new patch has been announced for next week, and way more. So really a ton to go over. A like on the video would of course really help me out. And let's go. Before we look at the changes, or actually nerfs, that are already live in the game right now, let's first touch on that appreciation package. It was of course pretty hard to get into the game around launch, with servers constantly being down, and it has totally been improved since then, but it's also still far from perfect. So because of this, the Outriders team gives everyone who played between March 31st and April 11th, so even if you hop on right now for the first time, you will still get this. And if your inventory was wiped, an issue that some people are experiencing, then you will always get this reward, so even after April 11th. And this reward is a level appropriate legendary weapon and amount of titanium, and also the emote Frustration, which is not obtainable right now, and that was likely a bug, so they thought, hey, why not give it here? These rewards will be sent to your highest level character, likely to the inbox system in the stash. We don't know when, likely next week if I had to bet. So you actually still have some time to increase your challenge rank or world tier so you get the item on the highest possible level. I will of course keep you up to date here when the reward is available. We also get a brand new patch next week. No date yet, but they want to get it out as soon as possible. So they're likely aiming for early next week if I had to bet. Crossplay that is now not working properly should be fixed with this update if both players are on the latest version, so installed this patch. They also talk about improvements to matchmaking, fixes for the inventory wipe bug, and also a crash happening during the A Bad Day side mission. They also note that more random crash fixes will be included in the patch. We get fixes for players wanting to respawn in the multiplayer expeditions, for players getting stuck when, for example, using the gravity leap. I actually had that yesterday. With this upcoming patch, the default for matchmaking will be changed from open to closed, but you can always change it back in the menu if you want. And for the PC, we get a performance issue fix where the GPU is not being fully utilized, and this should help with the stuttering and the DX11 and 12 issues. But again, these are just some highlights from this patch. We will likely have the full patch notes around the launch of the update. And I will leave a link to the current patch notes that I just went over in the video description, so you can read them for yourself if you want. But important to know is that this is a patch that we have to download, but because it's an online only game, they can also tweak things on the server side, and those changes are actually already live right now. So we already checked all these changes. I'm saying changes, but they are actually like nerfs, and they're pretty significant. And let's start with nerfs for the expeditions. They namely changed the time that is needed for the gold medal for Boomtown and Camp Plant, meaning that you now have to do the expedition way faster to get the gold reward. For Camp Plant, it was first 14 minutes and 57 seconds to get the gold stars, but now after the update, it's 10 minutes and 50 seconds. So you have to be 4 minutes faster to get the same rewards. We were able to make it after the update, like it's totally possible, but yeah, you got way less leeway. Boomtown was always super fast. First you had to complete it in 7 minutes and 2 seconds for gold, and now it's 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So you need to be 32 seconds faster. Doesn't seem that bad, but in this mission, sometimes enemies like to hide behind walls or don't go in aggressive, so you have to clear rooms now way more sufficient. We also got nerfs for some main game farms. They namely changed the loot drops from some of the monster bosses in the game. During the other ingredient side mission, for example, you would first encounter a 2K beast that could already drop 2 epics. But now after the update, that same enemy drops only 1 epic item. You would then later continue with this quest and encounter another one of those 2K beasts, and this one would always drop 1 epic item instead, and that is by the way still the case. So you basically get 1 less epic item per run from this side mission. Some monster hunt bosses were also nerfed: Split Tooth, Sand Shifter, and Cold Claw, because these particular beasts are being too generous considering the required effort to take them down according to the Outriders Outriders team. So they first dropped 2 epic items, just like the other Monster Hunt bosses in the game, but now after this update, they just drop 1 epic item after you kill them. And there was also this glitch where thanks to a multiplayer bug, you could get 1 legendary for every trophy or target you completed, as you see in footage here from Blazin, who shared this with me on Discord. So they now also fixed that. We did try the regular legendary tactic though, and that still works. So if you just complete all the hunts and targets for like the 2nd time or after that, you will still get 1 random legendary at the end. And that's of course a legendary weapon for the targets and a legendary gear item for the monster hunts. And I also mentioned this and many more farm tactics for legendaries in my legendary farm video. I will link to that one at the end of this one. We also got some changes for the critical rating damage on the tactical assault rifle. It was reduced to 165%. It was first 175%. And for the marksman rifle, it was reduced as well to 250% from 300%. Because they were dominating the crit builds, according to the developer People Can Fly. We got nerfs for twisted rounds, blighted rounds, and volcanic rounds. I mean, this meme was making the rounds on Reddit, so then you already know what time it is. So what they are changing is that the base cooldown of twisted rounds has been increased from 16 to 25 seconds. Meaning that if you don't get the kill refresh with the Perpetuum Mobile, and I pronounced it in my other videos, I think wrong, I think it's Perpetuum Mobile, either way, this refreshes your magazine if you have 35% or less in that magazine after a kill. So then you would like have an unlimited amount of twisted rounds. So first, if you were not able to kill someone to refresh your magazine, you would have to wait like 16, or you could even like reduce it, 16 seconds or so. But now, you really have to make sure that you kill someone to trigger the mod so you can keep the twisted rounds, and otherwise you just have to wait for a long time. They wanted to make it more high risk, high reward, and felt that it was first too easy to make a build around this unlimited ammo. But we got more trickster nerfs, including power reduction for the disruptive firepower skill node, the outrider executioner skill node, and the scion of power skill node. So first, they increased the damage of the trickster by 50%, but now it's down to 35% for all these nodes. For the technomancer, the hero node, damage against poison was nerfed from 30% to 15%, and we find a similar nerf for the pyromancer, but for the damage against enemies afflicted with ash, from 30% to 15% as well. And to round out these nerfs, the vulnerable status effect, first like increase your damage against targets by 25%, but it's now 15%. If you look at the guides though, it still says 25%. So I'm sure they will fix that in the future. So that's also pretty significant for if you were rocking that effect. I will again put a link to these changes in the video description, and let me know what you think of these nerfs in the comments down below. I will of course keep you up to date here when the new update goes live, and have way more Outriders videos coming your way. So totally subscribe to be up to date on everything, to miss nothing. A like on the video would of course really help me out, and totally check out that previous video on the legendary farms that are basically all the same actually. Yeah. So check them out, get some awesome legendaries, and I will see you in the next Outriders video. Thanks, goodbye!